Jodi Brenner Ginsberg of Ginsberg Law Offices, and today I would like to speak with you about RSD, reflex sympathetic dystrophy, sometimes known as complex regional pain syndrome. Either way, if you have this condition, you know how terribly difficult it is to manage your pain. In our practice, we see quite a lot of folks, and I'll refer to it as RSD for the purposes of keeping it simple. Many of my clients, unfortunately, have RSD, and you usually find that you sustain an injury at work, and perhaps it's a carpal tunnel injury, perhaps it's a knee injury. You undergo usually at least one surgery in the area, sometimes more than that, and sometimes you don't even have to undergo a surgery. But what happens is your pain responses in those particular areas, whether it's your wrist or your knee, that's the typical places we see it starting. Sometimes it could be the ankle. The pain responses are extremely high, meaning you might not be able to allow a pair of pants to touch your knee if it's a knee injury, or a bed sheet to touch your ankle if it's an ankle injury, or you cannot put on long sleeves to get close to the wrist surgery that you had. And what you see is this phenomenon. It's a neurological kind of response where your pain levels, as I said, are so extraordinarily high. For many, many years, doctors did not actually have a diagnosis, and they would tell people that they were crazy because they didn't understand how somebody's pain response could be so dramatically high from a carpal tunnel release or from a arthroscopic knee surgery. But what goes on medically in your body, and doctors can certainly speak to this issue, is what's called a reflex sympathetic dystrophy. Many of our clients undergo significant pain management to try to get their pain under control, and it is very, very debilitating. We have seen patients or clients of ours where the RSD unfortunately spreads to other body parts. It may go from one arm to the other, from one leg to the other. Some of them have their eyesight affected. Some of them have it in their chest area when it had nothing to do with the injury, but it has spread. We are very familiar with this condition. We know doctors around the state in various parts of the state that can treat it. Sometimes orthopedists are not likely, meaning the orthopedist would be the doctor who did your surgery, but they're not likely always to understand what RSD is and can't understand your pain response. Lately, we have seen more of them refer to pain management doctors who are much more experienced in dealing with RSD and will prescribe a host of medications to take orally. There's also a compound cream that many of them would prescribe for you. Recently, I've had a client actually go into a hyperbaric oxygen chamber to try and get relief. So there are many, many options. Again, not trying to be the doctor. Those would be for you to speak with your doctor about in terms of how to get treatment. From a legal standpoint, this is something that we are battling with insurance companies all the time, getting them to understand that the basic injury of, say, the carpal tunnel or the knee problem has now turned into a very, very significant problem with reflex sympathetic dystrophy or complex regional pain syndrome, as I said earlier. And in order to continue your TTD benefits under workers' comp and to get you the proper medical care, it is most important that you seek out legal advice for folks who understand how to deal with this particular condition. We are happy to speak with you, and you may reach me directly at 770-351-0801. Thank you.